Fear, it lives in silence. It shapes your choices before you even notice them. It is the shadow that whispers in every decision, the unseen hand guiding your steps. Fear is not always the scream in the night. More often, it is the quiet hesitation, the voice that tells you not to move, not to speak, not to act. To understand fear is to understand one of the deepest forces of control. Fear has always been a tool of survival. It warns us of danger. It keeps us alive. But what begins as protection can easily turn into chains. Leaders, systems, even those closest to us know how to use fear. They do not need to touch you. They only need to plant an image, a thought, a threat of loss. And suddenly, you obey. The power of fear lies not in the real danger, but in the anticipation of it. You fear what might happen, not always what is, and anticipation is endless. A leader can rule millions not by constant violence, but by the constant reminder of what could happen if rules are broken. Fear stretches into the future. It occupies the imagination. It creates prisons without walls. History proves this. Tyrants rise not only because they kill, but because they convince people they might. The uncertainty, the possibility, the threat is often stronger than the act itself. The silent threat makes people police themselves. They obey before commands are even given. They stay in line not because they must, but because they fear stepping out. But fear is not just political. It lives in our relationships. Parents use fear to guide children. Partners use fear to hold on to control. Friends use fear to manipulate loyalty. The fear of rejection, of abandonment, of being alone, these are as powerful as any soldier or law. The battlefield of fear is not only outside, it is inside the mind. Psychology shows us that fear changes the brain. It narrows focus. It limits thought. When afraid, you stop imagining options. You see only escape, only survival. That is why fear is such a powerful tool of influence. It does not simply scare you. It reshapes how you think. It shrinks possibility. It locks you in. And when possibility is small, control is easy. Those who understand this use fear like an artist uses paint. They do not need to show the full picture. They only need a stroke, a hint, a shadow. Your mind fills in the rest. You imagine the danger bigger than it is. You create the cage yourself. This is why propaganda works. It does not show truth. It shows suggestion. It shows images that awaken fear already in you. It does not need to lie directly. It only needs to direct your imagination toward threat. And when you are afraid, you cling to safety. You cling to authority. You give power away. But fear also hides opportunity. Because once you see it, once you name it, fear weakens. Fear thrives in silence. It grows in shadows. But when you confront it, when you analyze it, it begins to lose power. Those who master themselves do not eliminate fear. They learn to see through it. They ask, is this danger real, or is it an image planted in me? The great strategists of history understood this. They did not just control armies, they controlled emotions. They knew that to control fear is to control destiny. Machiavelli wrote that it is safer for a ruler to be feared than loved. Why? Because love is uncertain. Fear is immediate. Love can fade. Fear commands. Yet fear must be balanced. Too much fear breaks people. They rebel. They collapse. Skilled leaders, manipulators, even partners know this. They create just enough fear to keep control, but not so much that it destroys the bond. Fear must always be measured, to light, and it loses effect. Too heavy, and it turns to chaos. In your life, fear already rules more than you see. The job you did not take, the words you did not say, the risks you did not embrace. Fear sat beside you in each choice. It whispered that safety was better, but safety is often the mask of stagnation. Those who never confront fear remain forever in chains they cannot see. But there is also a hidden strength in fear. It shows you where the edges are. It shows you what matters. If you fear losing something, it means it holds power over you. By following fear, you find what controls you, and by facing it, you learn how to break free. The psychology of fear is not only about control, it is about liberation. To understand how fear is used against you is to begin using it for yourself. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to obey it. Those who rise, those who lead, those who transform the world, are not free from fear. They walk with it. They master it. So ask yourself, what do you fear? Who benefits from that fear? And what happens the moment you decide not to obey it? Because the greatest power is not in avoiding fear, but in turning it into strength. And once you do, no tyrant, no system, no manipulator can hold you again. Fear also thrives in silence. The less we talk about it, the more it grows inside us. People hide their fears, ashamed to admit them, but in that silence, fear becomes stronger. The unspoken fear has no limits. It stretches in the imagination, shaping every choice without being questioned. The first step to weakening fear is to expose it, to bring it into light where it cannot hide. Consider how fear spreads like fire. One person's hesitation infects another. In groups, fear becomes contagious. A rumor of danger is enough to paralyze entire communities. Leaders know this. They do not need to control everyone directly. They only need to trigger fear in a few, and the rest will echo it, spreading control like an invisible chain. Yet, those who rise above fear change this pattern. When one person stands, others see possibility. Courage is as contagious as fear. A single act of defiance can shatter the illusion of control. History is full of such moments when individuals faced fear, others followed, and power built on intimidation collapsed. Fear rules only as long as people allow it to. So the true battle is not against external threats, but against the inner voice that says, "Stay quiet." When you learn to see fear for what it is, a suggestion, not a command, you begin to regain freedom, and with freedom comes responsibility. The choice is always before you. Submit to fear or step beyond it, into the unknown where growth, power, and truth wait. If this exploration of fear and power has opened your eyes, do not let it end here. Reflect, share, act, subscribe. For more insights into the hidden forces that shape your mind and your world. Every week, we uncover the truths most prefer to hide. Take the step beyond fear into awareness, into freedom, into control of your own destiny.